Hey everyone, it's Joy here. Welcome back to my channel and thank you guys so very much for stopping by and watching. I have two cards today for you using some newer products from Spellbinders. This is from Spellbinders Floral Reflection collection. So we have some an embossing folder and some hot foiling to do. So these cards turned out beautiful, you guys. So for the first card, I'm going to be using this embossing folder, and I have cut strips of of colored cardstock and some gold mirror cardstock. I have trimmed down a piece of 6" by 3". This is printer paper, super thin. Because we're going to be adding cardstock to this, I did not want to add it to another piece of cardstock because then it'd be too thick. We're going to put this through the die cut machine in that embossing folder, and it turned out gorgeous, you guys. So I put adhesive all over the whole background because I want to make stripes. So the colors of cardstock that I used are from the Stamp Market: Coral Reef, Papaya, Salmon, and Blush Pink, and then of course the gold mirror cardstock. I'd cut them in different widths so that way it just is, I don't know, I just think it looks better. It's not just all the same width. Not that that looks bad, but for me personally, I like the different widths. So I tend to go from the lightest to darkest cardstock, but then I would just put in some of that gold mirror cardstock every now and again in different areas. So this is super simple to do. Even if you don't want to run this through an embossing folder, it still is a gorgeous look. But let me tell you, running it through the embossing folder, and especially with that metallic cardstock, it is stunning, you guys. Like, I didn't know how pretty this was going to be. So let me finish just putting these down. I probably had to stop for a dog or something because our little dogs like to come play in my room. They knock my lights over when I'm recording, and sometimes they're just little troublemakers. So I was probably reprimanding a dog. Anyways, I'm just making sure for the most part that there's different sizes next to each other. Again, going from the lightest color to the darkest color. And obviously you can use any color combination that you like. I know I've been doing a lot of Christmas colors lately, so this was kind of fun to go outside of that to give a little bit of a break from all the Christmas stuff. You know, not in a bad way, but just to do something else. So it was kind of fun to just go and pick. I love these kind of corally pink colors and corally orange colors. I think they're so fun. So that is what I opted to go with. So I'm going to finish off with my gold mirror piece here, and then we can trim the excess off using a paper trimmer. It's so super simple. This is making a mini slimline card, which the card base will measure 3.5 by 6.5. But this piece is 3 inches by 6 inches. So like I said, super easy to trim off all the excess. Now we have this real fantastic background of all of these fun colored stripes. And imagine doing this in like rainbow or different shades of blue or shades of yellow. Just so pretty. Okay, let's pop this into that embossing folder, and then I can just run that through my die cut machine. And this is a 3D embossing folder, so you get a really good image, you guys. Now I'm also going to be using Bibi Cameron's So Many Butterflies from Spellbinders. I have die cut those from gold mirror cardstock, and I'm going to put the butterflies in the embossing folder as well. I wanted those to have some of that texture, and it looks like they're coming out of the card, and you'll see what I mean when we finish putting this card together. So we're going to actually start the second card because I've got some foiling to do for this card as well. So I'm going to put this aside, but I am folding those butterflies up a little bit just to give them some 3D dimension. So I'm going to put this aside. Let's start on the next card. I have my Glimmer hot foil machine out, my foil trimmer from Spellbinders. I'm using matte gold today. I know it's a shock because I always use the Aura foil, but I decided to go different because I'm sure you guys are sick of seeing the Aura foil. I'm sure you'd like to see some other color, but big surprise, it's still gold. So I trimmed a piece. I am using Simon Says Stamp's 120-pound cardstock for this. You're going to put the foil shiny side up, and your foil plate will be on top. I have my hinges here just in case I don't get a real good image. I can keep my image in place and add some more foil to it. Then I have the sentiments that come from the Glimmer, the Glimmer kit, not the kit, oh my gosh, my brain, the little Glimmer set that I'm using here. I cannot remember the names, you guys, but I will have them listed and linked for you below. But it has 2 sentiments and this big, beautiful floral. One of the sentiments says with love, the other one says just for you. So we are going to use both of those because again, we're making 2 cards. Once that's done and heated up, I'm going to run it through my die cut machine nice and slow. And then I can dock this back into the station and just peel back that foil. And we got a great image, you guys. And we're going to do some Copic coloring on this. Really kind of simple Copic coloring, but look at how pretty that is. Let's do our sentiments really quick. The same thing. Once they're done, I pull it out, add my shims and my plates on top, run that through my die cut machine. I use the Spellbinders Platinum 6. And then I can peel these back and we can start using the coordinating dies to die cut these out. Now there's like 2 sentiment strip dies. The one I'm laying down here is a little big for that sentiment, but we will adjust that in just a second. I am using some low tack tape, making sure to not get it on the foil because it can lift the foil from your work surface. So, or from your cardstock, excuse me. I'm going to put that through the die cut machine. We can die cut out those sentiments. So for this sentiment here, I'm just going to slide that die over at the end to make it fit and then run that through the die cut machine. It's just going to cut the excess off of the left side, or excuse me, the right side. Then let's die cut that floral image. There is a coordinating die with that, which I'm so thankful. Again, this is from the Floral Reflection collection from Spellbinders. And then let's color this. I kept it simple. I am using, I believe this is R22 and R20. So I'm keeping it really kind of simple with the Copic marker colors. I'm just doing 2 per image, 1 for the leaves, just 1 green marker. I am adding the darkest color at the base of the petals. And then here is the R20 that I'm going to blend out just a little bit. And then there's a couple other flowers. Well, there's 3 flowers on the sides of this large flower. I'm going to use R83 and R81. It's a pink, but it's a different pink, so it will stand out differently. I'm just going to go back in with that little bit of that darker marker to add a little bit of the more of a shadow area at the base of all the petals. And I think it turned out so, so pretty. And I love coloring with the foil because it's just an absolutely stunning look. So again, here is the R83, the darkest color, and then I can blend it out with the R81. So the other 3 small flowers will be this color combination. I was going to use 2 different colors of green for the leaves, but once I added the lightest color, I really just liked it how it was. And I think it makes the flowers stand out more because that does have a darker and lighter area. So I'm using YG63, and I was going to bring in the YG67 for the darker area, but like I said, I opted not after I looked at it and I just thought, oh, this is perfect just how it is. Then I'm going to die cut 2 more of these florals, but just the die cut. I'm not going to foil it because I just need this to give that image some dimension. So I'm going to die cut this 2 more times from white cardstock. And then we can adhere this together to kind of give it that thicker look. If you didn't want to do that, you could just add some foam tape behind it, but I really wanted it to look like a piece of chipboard. So that is why I went this direction. So I'm going to adhere those together. And then we're going to take that same embossing folder, but from white cardstock. This card is really light, and this is my favorite out of the 2. I think it's so, so pretty. But I'm going to run that through the die cut machine with that embossing folder. And look at how pretty that is. Then I want to center this in that background. This is going to be a full A2 size background. I'm not going to trim it down. So this will go on an A2 sized card base, and then a little bit of foam tape behind the sentiment that says just for you. And this is exactly how I'm leaving it. I'm not even going to add any sequins or anything. I think it is perfect as is. I think this is such a sweet, soft, pretty card. All right, let's put together that first card that we were working on. We've got the butterflies that we ran through the embossing folder. We have their little bodies. I did not run the bodies through the embossing folder, so those will stand out a little bit different, but they are from the same gold mirror cardstock. I feel like they look like they are coming out of those gold mirror strips, which I think is really kind of pretty. So I have 3 because an odd number is just a little bit more pleasing to the eye. And then we have the sentiment that says with love that we're going to put on here as well. And this one I'm also not going to add any sequins because I feel like we've got enough. I kind of treated the butterflies like the sequence, but we have enough like gold bling going on with that gold mirror cardstock. So I opted to not add any of that. So a little piece of foam tape, I'm going to slide that in on the right side there. And then we can adhere this to a white mini slimline card base, which measures 6.5 by 3.5. I'm going to adhere the other card to a white A2 size card base. I don't know, that embossing folder, you guys, I think is so stunning and white. I just absolutely love it. And then here is our mini slimline card base. Let's put that in place, and then let's take a look at these up close, because all finished, because look at how pretty that is. Look at that embossing folder on the background and on all of those different colors of cardstock. I think it's so pretty. And then of course we have this one with the beautiful hot foil image with that floral image, and then you have that embossing folder on the background. Thank you guys so very much for stopping by and watching. I hope that you feel inspired, and I hope that you guys have a really wonderful day. Thank you so much for all of your support, and I'll be back soon with another video. Bye.